we are live on the live stream. How you doing today? Welcome to Social Media and AI Shortcuts. I'm Madalyn Sklar, and I've got some really awesome updates and tips to help you cut through the noise online. But first, check out this stat that's going to blow your mind. Every time you open a social media app and you do that, your content is competing with 150,000 other posts at any given moment. I'm going to be sharing some really smart strategies from growth hacker Brandon Kane, who talks about this and discusses how to go viral on purpose, not by luck. So I'm going to be showing some really cool video clips of that later where he talks about that. We're also going to check out a free tool from Opus Clip that creates viral thumbnails in just one click. And I will give you 2 simple YouTube tips that can help you with your videos on your YouTube channel, help you get recommended more often. And if you're thinking of switching up your Instagram content, you're going to hear from Instagram CEO Adam Mosseri. He has advice on how to pivot your content without killing your engagement. Is really interesting stuff. And hey, if you don't know me, hi, I'm Madalyn. I've been in the digital marketing space for nearly 30 years now, and I've been teaching social media for the last 20. What I do is I help business owners and entrepreneurs simplify their AI and social media so it actually works for you, not the other way around. So we've got a great group of panelists here with us today. I'm going to bring them up on the screen, if I can just press the right button here. Hello, Rachel and Barb. Good to see y'all. I always love having y'all as regulars here each week. It always makes for a fun and well-rounded discussion. So why don't we go around the room real quick and have y'all introduce yourselves very briefly. We'll start with you, Rachel.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Rachel Thompson, aka Rachel in the OC or Bad Redhead Media. You might know me from either one. I'm an author and I work with authors to help market their books and do social media. And AI is really helping me do a lot of that I was even unaware of. So I'm really excited. And other things that people are using it for, which we'll be talking about. So thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. And hey, Barb, tell everybody a little bit about you.
Well, I'm an OGer online and off as well. But I met Madalyn through MySpace days, and we're both into online community development, and we have been doing that for over 30 years now.
A long time.
It's all about the conversation. So
100%.
If you know, you know. Everybody online knows me as Barb T USA.
Yeah, we've known each other a long time back. When I think back to the MySpace days, that was so long ago. Internet, social media, all of that has evolved so much over the last several decades. So before we dive into, well, first of all, I want to say we got people watching from all over social media. So thank y'all so much. We are broadcasting on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, X. We're on multiple accounts. We're on my accounts. We're also on Rachel and Barb's account. So if y'all are watching from one of their accounts, hi, I'm Madalyn. I host this every Thursday. It's always fun to just come together and chat about social media and AI stuff. I'm always coming across interesting things. Also, my background has been in teaching Twitter. I used to do that for a really long time. 10 years ago, I started a little Twitter chat on X called Twitter Smarter, the hashtag Twitter Smarter, and got really well known for that. And what's so interesting, this is the same time spot. Every Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern, I have always done something at this time period. It was Twitter Smarter for many, many years. And for like the last year now, been transitioning and doing this social media and AI shortcuts. Because let's face it, Twitter has changed a lot. It's, X is very different. And I just wanted, be more broad ranging with my teaching and teach all about various social media platforms and discuss AI because I really love all the AI stuff. I'm always learning new things and love coming on here and sharing it and having a discussion. And if you're watching live, you can comment and chat with us in real time and share your thoughts as well. Rachel, you you had something interesting happen. Why don't you, before we dive into the content today, tell everybody about your little thing you wanted to discuss.
Yeah, I went to a doctor's appointment yesterday, my OBGYN. We won't go into too much detail. Everything's fine. But what I thought was so interesting is we started talking about AI and how AI is now starting to be used. It probably always has to a certain extent, but not obviously now it's being used not just robotics, which have been around for a long time, but in creating and understanding risk factors and high risk patients and how to organize people into different funnels and everything. And she said she thinks it's going to be amazing. However, there's a lot that a diagnostician still needs to be able to do. Like, you know, a radiologist will still need to read x-rays. It can be aided by the AI who could say, okay, wait, I see something that maybe a doctor wouldn't see. But you know, things like field medicine, like, I don't know how people are so worried about losing their jobs to AI. I think that if we can use it in a way that helps us, which is what the conversation was, she was like, I'm all for it, but you're never going to replace, according to her, you know, doctors. It'll be a long time till we're like at Star Trek level or whatever.
Right. It's interesting though. I mean, I think AI is very beneficial in so many ways, at least as an aid. And one thing that's interesting I've done recently is in ChatGPT, I've put in like some different medical things of mine just to hear its take on it, you know, and it's very interesting and eye-opening because it's able to gather so much information and talk to you like a person about various medical conditions, or feed it your last lab results, like your recent lab results, and just say, you know, what could I be doing, you know, to improve this? Or can you explain what each item means? You know, prior to this, I would just have to go Google, like, what is each one of these lab things and what does it mean? I don't even know what these tests are, but you can just have ChatGPT or one of the other AI large language models break it down and explain it to you. And that's really cool because we don't always get much time with a doctor. And I feel like this is a great aid in getting extra information. But you have to understand it's not going to always be perfect.
Right.
So always keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Don't view it as this is 100% accurate, because it may not necessarily be. But I think it's a tool, and it's a very powerful tool.
The other
Mari,
thing sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Barb.
In that same vein, just two things. Just, you know, I always look up my Facebook memories each day, and one was a reminder about my corgi having not being able to be neutered on a certain day because there was this sign of some disease on there, and I thought, I don't even remember this, and so I quickly put it in ChatGPT. And it gave me the whole down about how that particular thing affects people and pets. So it was a total new education. And then the word lavender was brought up in that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have lavender growing next door. I wonder if I could grow lavender here. And what it offered to do for me was it said, put your photos of where you want to place it, and I will draw you a whole landscaping plan for that area. Also, and so I said, well, could I grow mint with it? You know, I was thinking about the herbs and things that my husband had said. I thought, well, maybe I can just put that out there, right? So I put it in there, and it gave me a whole list of what I could plant in that environment. And then if I could get my soil tested, it just kept coming, you know. And it says, and then because I told you, and you do this too, I talk to it like a girlfriend, you know, and tell it thank you, so forth and so on. And you know what it ended up saying to me? This is an ambitious project, Barb. You've got to
That's funny. Well, that's so cool though. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Bess, look, Bess is joining us from his car today. I love that you just love being here. And it's like, whether I'm eating lunch or sitting in my car, I'm going to show up. I love that.
Well, he's an 80s guy. He's just waiting for that moment.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing some research about different personalities in the 80s. So, you know, ask me anything. I may know something.
We still need to seriously plan that 80s live stream we were talking about, because it's such a great idea, Bez, that you came up with. Well, I'm glad you're here. Tell everybody real briefly a little bit about you, and then I'm going to start showing all the cool stuff I've uncovered.
Well, my name is Bezran Hefel. I'm a headhunter and do headhunting in tech, but mainly in healthcare. I've transitioned more on the healthcare side, but I still stay relevant tech because I'm sort of a nerd at heart. And then I do career coaching as well. Recently started a cohort in November. Now I'm actually have 2 different cohorts. So that's pretty exciting stuff that I'm doing. I'm one of those that I tell you to quit applying and do 99 other things instead.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and adding to the conversation. And for everybody here tuning in, if you don't know, we do have another hangout place for us. We do the live stream every week for an hour, but I also have us set up over on the School platform. If you're not familiar with School, School is cool. It rhymes. SKOOL. It's school.com/Madalyn Sklar. And this is our little private hangout community. It's kind of like a Facebook group, and we're able to continue our discussions and chat throughout the week when we uncover things, or just having discussions, talking about whatever related to social media and AI stuff. So definitely feel free to join it. Like I said, it's free. It's just a great way to continue these discussions. And the link is in the ticker as well. So you can always grab it at any time. So I've got like really interesting stuff to show y'all today that I've been uncovering. And I'm going to start off with an interesting tool that just came out. It's brand new. It just came out, I think, this week from Opus Clip. And I've talked a lot here about Opus Clip, which is a great AI tool to help you with your videos. Like if you like this video, we're live streaming right now, so this is going to be long format. Opus Clip can take your long format videos and chop them up into short form, and it does it quickly, easily. It uses AI to figure out like what's the best content in there. Well, what they just came out with this week now is called Opus Clip Thumbnail. And this was launched this week through Product Hunt, which is a very popular website. If you're not familiar, producthunt.com. And this is where companies will release different types of software and apps, and to talk about it and get, gauge people's interest, and then people can, discuss it, share comments. But what this is they're saying this is a one-click AI thumbnail generator, and it's free. So it says all you got to do is paste a video link. You take your video link from YouTube, you paste it in there, and it's going to basically create 3 different thumbnail images based on the content. And I thought, okay, that's pretty interesting. So let me play y'all I've got a short little video here where they talk about it, just so it'll make more sense. And then I will actually do a demo. And I will say, it's not perfect, but when these AI tools come out, they're free. It's worth trying and playing and experimenting with. And I love Opus Clip. I do have a paid account with them. I love the tool. It's great. So this is super interesting. Let me play it for you.
All the biggest YouTubers know that thumbnails are one of the most important parts of a video. You can make the best video that ever existed. However, if your thumbnail is bad, no one will watch it. There's now a free AI thumbnail generator that studies your YouTube videos and automatically creates images for them like this. You can even add your face into these images like I have here. This tool is completely free to use. You don't even need to be logged in to use it. Okay, guys, the first step to creating these viral thumbnails is heading to the URL in the description to this video to get to this website. You then need to just drop the link to the YouTube video that you want your thumbnail for, and the AI will automatically create the thumbnails for you. You pop the link in here. I'll just add a link to show you. And if I just get rid of that again to quickly show you here, you can see you can add the link to a public YouTube video you've already uploaded if you want to create a new improved thumbnail for one of your existing videos, or you can add the link to one of your unlisted YouTube videos that you still need a thumbnail for. This is the link to a YouTube video about taste testing different sodas that we're going to generate a thumbnail for today. If we scroll down, we can see the option to insert our face into the thumbnail. We're going to skip this and generate an image without a face in it first, and we'll generate an image with my face in it later. But for now, we'll press this Get Free Thumbnail button to have the AI generate the thumbnail for this video. And then we just wait for the AI thumbnail generator to do its thing. I found this typically takes around 2 minutes maximum before we get our thumbnail. And as you've seen, you can use this tool for free without being logged in up to 3 times a day. After that, it makes you log in, but you can just create a free account. And as long as you're logged into that, you can keep using this for free over and over again. But you only get those 3 uses when you're not logged in. And nice, that image is generated for me now after just a couple of minutes, and I can download that easily by pressing this button. It's going to look like the text is being cut off when you see it on the website here. But once you download the image, I'll show it on screen now, you can see that all the text is actually included in that downloaded image. So for free, any YouTuber can now create viral, faceless YouTube thumbnails like you've seen without having any design experience themselves.
So what do y'all think of that? That's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of like this almost like a big ask there, well, not really ask, but like a big promise they're making, like, we're going to give you an amazing thumbnail. So I've been playing with it. I wouldn't really necessarily say they're amazing, but I mean, it's kind of cool that you can just put in a public or unlisted URL, and it's going to give you, 3 different ones to choose from. So I put the link up on here. I don't know why it's such a long link, but that's
Wow.
the URL.
Yeah.
And why don't we do a live demo and play around with this to see? It does take a few minutes. It's not fast, but let's try doing an impromptu demo here to see, so y'all can kind of see this in action and get y'all's thoughts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up one of my YouTube videos. Let's see. I'm going to pull up this one I did a while back where it was from one of our live streams where I had ChatGPT voice mode. I was doing a demo. So this is just a chopped up video that's like several minutes long. So why don't let's do this. I'm going to copy the URL, and then I'm going to go open up this YouTube thumbnail maker. Give me 1 second. It's a live stream. This is like, you're watching this all in real time. All right, so here's the page here. So just like in the video right here, drop either an unlisted or a public link to YouTube. So I'm going to put the URL. Oh, it's not valid. Enter a valid. Oh, sorry, I put in the URL for this. Let me go copy it again. All right, so we're going to put the URL in. And you can include your face if you want. So you can like upload a headshot video of you if you want. I'm not going to do that for this. I'm just going to let's just see what it does. So I'm going to hit get free thumbnail. So it is going to take a few minutes. It's not super fast. So we'll let that run. But initially while it's running, like what did y'all think from him explaining it in the video? Does that make you want to go try it? Because it does sound like this could be really cool.
I would be interested, and there probably are some out there, to know if it doesn't have to be a YouTube video. It could just be any video that would create that kind of thumbnail, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does take a minute.
It's not super fast. It's pretty slow. But what it's doing is analyzing the video. It's probably taking the transcript, I guess. It's probably accessing the transcript through YouTube, and it's analyzing it, and I guess trying to figure out what makes this video great, and then coming up with thumbnails for it. But it does give you 3, but I mean, they're okay. Like the ones I've tried this a handful of times. So far, it hasn't been anything like super great. They're not necessarily bad. I see a kitty. they're not necessarily bad. Let me grab one that I had played with before and downloaded because I could show y'all while we're waiting. The thing is, I've noticed is that, like, this is one that came up for me. The problem I've noticed is that the text is usually kind of small, and for a thumbnail, you want really large text. So when this is tiny on somebody's phone, they're not going to be able to read the mobile app launch part. They'll be able to see, but see, Notebook LM should be way bigger. Mobile app, like it should, all of that should be a lot bigger. And so I'm surprised that it wasn't. But I'm just curious to see, like, on that YouTube video of mine that I showed y'all, what is it going to come up with? What's, so I just think because it's free right now is something to play with. You never know. You might be pleasantly surprised. You might find that you like it. All right, here's what it gave us. And see, the text is all way too small for a thumbnail. It won't be bad for desktop, but most people watch YouTube on their phones. And when I look at my stats, it is primarily people using mobile. So those aren't bad looking. What do y'all think? Let me see if I can click on one. So you can only just download. I was hoping I could click and make it bigger so y'all could see, but.
Well, Pip is very interested. He's watching it scroll by.
Yeah.
Look at his little ears.
Oh. So I just, when I come across interesting tools, I like passing it along. Is this something I'm going to use all the time? Probably not, but it is interesting, and I don't think it hurts to play around with it and try it. You might find something that it creates that's really cool. Although you can also just go into ChatGPT or one of the other AI tools and put in, your prompts of what you're looking for, and it can create stuff. I played around with that, and I've come up with some really cool images that way. So, yeah, my friend Venus says it looks really good on the TV. I bet when you're watching a big screen on TV, it probably does look really good. So I'm thinking that every time I've done this, I feel like they're designing this more for desktop or TV version of YouTube, not for mobile. And most people watch on mobile. Lauren says it would be Larry said it would be nice to have an option to edit the thumbnail. Yes, in some ways, so you can enhance. I agree. It would be nice to be able to do that. And Roxanne says might help with shorten videos to help with ads for Google nonprofits. So yeah. So anyway, it was just an interesting find that I wanted to share with y'all because it seemed interesting to me. I wanted to share that with y'all. Next up, I'm going to show y'all a really interesting video. I'm going to just show a couple of clips. There was a video I watched this week that was really super interesting that I think y'all are going to like. Really great tips, how to go viral on social media. That is more about that is, many times people say, oh, it's just pure luck going viral. But there's actually a method to it that when you listen to this discussion, these different clips I'm going to play, I think some of this will really hit home of like, wow, I didn't think of that, or I didn't know that, and trying some new things to see if that'll work for you. So is a interview with this guy, Brandon Kane. He is like this growth hacker. He is an author. He's written like 3 books, and Myron Golden had him on his video podcast. And the title of the video is Go Viral Intentionally and Consistently Without Depending on Luck. So what I'm going to play are these couple of clips and get y'all's thoughts on it. So listen to this.
Is the invention of the social media algorithms. Now, what was the purpose of the algorithm? Well, as more people got onto the platform, the more the more content was being produced. And as if any one of us opened up our favorite app right now, it doesn't matter what it is, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, there's literally about 150,000 pieces of content it could seed to you based upon all the content that you've engaged with and the people that you subscribe to or follow. Now, obviously, it can't seed you 150,000 pieces of content. It has to prioritize, like, what is the content that I'm going to seed to this person that has the highest likelihood to keep them on the platform longer so we can serve more ads. So when that shift happened, it was no longer free wins. Because if you think back, even like the first 5 to 8 years, social media is pretty simple. You get somebody to connect with you, whether it was, a follow, a subscriber, a friend, you post something and people see it. But as there's more content coming onto these platforms, these algorithms have to prioritize, like, which content am I going to see to this person that's going to keep them on the platform longer? So as more people became on the platform, more ads were served, or more content was served, it became more cutthroat. So if we think about 150,000 pieces of content, your one piece of content is competing with 150,000 choices.
I'm going to stop for a second. This is why you just don't go viral or get the attention all the time. What a lot of people will do will say, I'm being shadow banned. I'm being shadow banned. They're preventing the platform, preventing people from seeing my stuff. No, most times it's not that. It's that your content is just not good enough, or not grabbing enough attention when you've got 150,000 other pieces of content being served at that moment. I mean, that is like mind-blowing when you think about it that way. But doesn't that really make sense? Social media is not like when Barb and I met in the MySpace days. That was a much different time on social media, and even the early Facebook days. If you followed somebody, you saw every post. When you followed on Twitter, back in the Twitter days, you saw every tweet. It was a very different time, but you didn't have, a crazy number of people on there either. Any thoughts on that?
I just read something like 5,000 books are uploaded to Amazon every week, or every day. So it used to be like maybe 1 million a year, but I don't know, someone have to do the math, but that's a lot of books.
A lot of competition. That's a lot. So that's the thing we all have to think about in 2025. There's so much more competition everywhere with everything we do, because everybody's online, everybody's on social media, everybody's doing exactly what you're doing. So what are you doing to stand out? Let me finish playing the video, but when he talks about 150,000, it really hits home, like, okay, that what I'm putting out right now, could that compete with 150,000 other pieces of the same thing? And I think when you get in that mindset, I think that helps us be more creative and really think about what we're putting out there. So let me continue.
That the algorithm can see to it.
Wow.
Like, that is the level of competition.
Crazy.
Now,
and that's 150,000 how often? Like every day?
Every time you open the app. I mean,
That's mind-blowing.
there's between all social media channels, there's about 1 billion pieces of content that are uploaded every single day. So it's that level of competition. Now, one of the things, and there's a lot of frustration with content creators, especially ones that started early on, because before it was a lot easier. If you just post and you post a lot, you get more visibility and you succeed. But as there's more competition and the algorithm became stricter and stricter and stricter, it was, again, it's survival of the fittest. And one of the frustrating things that the creators will say, well, my account's shadow banned. 99.9% of the time, your account is not shadow banned. The reality is your content is not grabbing and holding attention longer than the other 150,000 pieces of content it could see to you. Or the other thing to say is, oh, the algorithms are out there to get me to suppress reach on purpose, to get me to pay for boosting posts. There's 2 reasons I can definitively tell you that's not true. Number one, I've managed over $200 million of advertising spend over the course of my career. They don't make money off of people boosting $20 on a post. They make money off the brands and corporations that are literally spending billions and billions of dollars a year. On top of that, if that was the case, Mr. Beast would never exist. That teenage influencer that you see down the street with millions of followers would never exist. Only people like Coca-Cola or Apple or these people would have all of this success. So there's a lot of frustration and myths and lies that people are being told or telling themselves that's really preventing and holding them back from success.
That's so interesting. I watched this entire video interview. It's almost an hour long. And that was like such a key takeaway, to just realize there is so much content every time you open any social media app, and to know that there are 1 billion pieces of content every single day. What can you do to make your content better? Because that's a lot of competition you're up against. So does that kind of make you like really rethink things when you hear it like that from an expert? Because it definitely made me
Sorry,
think.
I'm trying to get in here because my cat clearly is very interested in what is happening.
Hello, kitty.
It does make sense. It makes a lot of sense, actually. And it makes
Yeah.
you think, how to put yourself out there in a professional way, unless your goal is to do stupid stuff and be a reply guy or whatever. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, I just think it's
Okay.
really important to, really just don't just, back in the day, yeah, you could just post a post. I mean, that was a strategy. And when people are like so wild, they have over 100,000 uh, X followers back in the Twitter days. It wasn't hard to build a Twitter following, because if you put a lot of content out every day, we
Mhm.
power users, we were called. It you grabbed attention, and people
Hey.
followed and shared and did all and commented and did all the things. So yeah, I will have a link to that. Okay, so let me tell y'all, for those of y'all newer to me. So we live stream every week. We're broadcasting all over the place right now. We're on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Facebook right now. But on my YouTube channel at Madalyn Sklar, what I do, like later in the day after we're done with this live stream, I'll go back in and for the replay, in the description, I'll put links to all the videos that I show, like the full videos. And I highly recommend watching that entire, I'm going to play one more clip from it, but I highly recommend watching the entire thing. It is really, really good. And the two men on stage, Myron Golden's the one on the left. So this is his YouTube channel. He is just great. If you like to get great motivation on in business coaching, whatever it is you do, he is great with that. I love his message. He does do like some Bible quotes from time to time, if like, it doesn't bother me, but his overall message is just how to do better in business. And I always just walk away with some great advice every time I watch his videos. His guest, Brendan, what is his name? Brendan Kane, is quite the expert. I didn't know much about him, but he's had him on multiple times now. And every time he's had that guy on is just pure gold. It is so much valuable information. So if y'all go to my YouTube channel at Madalyn Sklar, you can see how my name is spelled on here. Just go to my YouTube channel. And so later today, I'll go back into the description and add the links to all of these videos. Let me play this next clip for y'all.
Still do it. The mindset today, majority, is I'm going to use the same creative model and the same creative process that was designed pre-social media to create creative assets and try and apply it to social media. And again, the dynamics of storytelling in these platforms is fundamentally different. There's different nuances to how we need to hold attention, tell a story through these platforms. So that's why you see creators like you mentioned, Casey Neistat or Mr. Beast or Mark Rober or Veritasium. They have grown through these platforms. They didn't learn creative before social media. They learned creative on social media. And social media follows a creative model to success. So a lot of people think like virality or success in social media is just pure luck, when there's an actual science to it. There is a formula to it, and that formula can be replicated. I know this because the past 6 years, we built our own creative model, and it's generated over 60 billion views, 100 million followers, and $1 billion in revenue for the people that have used it. And it's used in any industry or sector. It doesn't matter, because it's the foundational storytelling elements. If you master that, you will have success. And that's where brands and corporations get lost, is they're stuck in the past of how they produce content.
That was like really powerful. So that really stuck out with me as well, because when he had said, talking about Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, all those really big YouTubers, and we said they didn't learn creative from social media, they learned on social media. They learned and figured it out as they went. and that's why it's so important to experiment and try things. I'm always experimenting. I'm always trying things because you just don't know what's going to work. There's not always one magic formula. There might be one specific for you that doesn't work for another creator. So it's always trying things to see, just like how I've been doing this live stream for quite a while now, every week, and I was broadcasting to Facebook and thought, you know what, I'm going to do LinkedIn instead. So I want to do YouTube and X each week. So those are my two standards there, but I can do up to 3 on my StreamYard account. So I was doing Facebook for quite a while. And now for the last 3 weeks, I instead have been doing LinkedIn as an experiment. And I'm really glad I did, because it's definitely attracting some attention through my LinkedIn, is getting people that know me over there and are not necessarily following me elsewhere or paying attention to me elsewhere. And now they see what I'm doing each week, and that's really powerful. So I'm just a fan of always experimenting. But I really thought that video was just full of great tips and advice. So I will definitely have the full length for y'all, because I definitely recommend spending the time listening to it. So any thoughts on that before we move on?
I just want to know, it's going to be in our community, right?
Also in there. Yeah,
Okay.
over in the school community, over at school.com/Madalyn Sklar. That's another way we connect with each other. So yeah, I always do a follow-up and put all the details from the video with all the links and everything. I put that in there as well. So good point, Barb. Thank you for mentioning that. Our time goes so fast. I still got more stuff for us to see. So this next video is really interesting, where I got this interesting gal. I'm going to play a couple of clips from her where she talks about some tips for making your YouTube work better, for like making sure the right people see your YouTube channel, that the people that are looking for your content. This was actually something I did post over on the school platform last week. So if you're over there, then you might have already seen this, but I'm going to play a couple of clips from this because I'm really impressed. Some gal that I don't know who she is, some content creator teaching YouTube tips, and it showed up in my feed one day. So first I'm going to play a little bit of the intro of this video. So let's start with that, and then I'll play the 2 clips.
Small YouTubers, gather right here and let's help each other grow. Listen, if you are getting less than 500 views on your videos every time you post, you need to listen to this video carefully, because there are 2 settings in your YouTube studio that you need to go and turn on and make sure that YouTube knows who to recommend your videos to. If you don't turn on these settings, you're going to be on YouTube for months, years, just going around in circles. And I know, because that's exactly what my husband did. I actually did a video on this, on one of the settings, but you need to go and change these settings right now.
All right, I'm going to show, let's start with the first one.
Get right into these settings, guys, so we can get your videos being recommended by YouTube. Okay, so the first hidden setting that you want to go and update on your YouTube channel right now is you want to go to YouTube Studio, and only on desktop, because this hidden setting is actually not even on the app, guys. It's not on the app. And I've had so many people say this in the comments on my previous video, because I did talk about this in one of my videos, and everyone's like, I can't find it. I can't find it. It is not on the app, guys. It's not on the mobile version. It is only on desktop. So I'm going to show you right now exactly where to find this. Okay, so what you want to do is, if you are on your desktop and on your channel, you want to go to YouTube Studio, and once you've opened up YouTube Studio, you want to go to settings, and the settings are going to be in the bottom left hand corner. You click on settings, and then this settings window will pop up, and then you want to go to channel. Once you hit channel, it's going to bring up this basic info, and on this you can put the keywords for the niche that you're in. So I've already filled this out, but when I first started, this was not filled out, and it didn't even have a country. So YouTube didn't even know what country, to serve my content to. It didn't really know who to serve what my niche was, until I actually updated these settings right here. So the first one I put in there was Elevate with Tate. That way, as a new channel, you want people to be able to find you. You want to be the first person that pops up when they type in your name, especially if you have a common name. And here's another little trick that you can do. You can actually put in your competitors' names in this section as well, especially the big YouTubers. the large YouTubers, because a lot of people go on YouTube and they search for, for example, in my niche, Think Media is one of the biggest YouTube channels out there in my niche. So people search Think Media. So I have Think Media as one of my keywords right here.
I have to say that was such a smart tip. I already had mine filled out. I probably did it years ago because I know I've heard about this tip. But when she said put your competitors in, that's brilliant because people Think Media, that's a popular channel for YouTube tips. So she's smart putting that in there. It's not like a sneaky or bad thing. You're putting the keywords that help people better find you. So so if you've already put your keywords in yours, go back, take a look. Like I hadn't looked at mine in a long time. After watching this video, I went back through it and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to update this a little bit. And then add okay, well, people that who would like my content? Well, people that are searching for social media examiners content. Or you be thinking of where would somebody go for this kind of content that you put out? Put those in the keywords.
In this section. And that way, when people search Think Media, guess who else pops up? Me. So there you go. There's a trick for your toolbox right there. So that's the first setting. And it really works, guys, because when I changed the setting, that's when I actually started seeing a turnaround in my video. I started to get traction. And I actually saw somebody commented this on one of the videos where I mentioned this setting. And they said this on the comment. They said that they went and tried this one thing and their next upload was so much higher than all their other uploads. So it works. So go ahead and go and change those settings now. Okay, so before we move on to the second.
All right, let me go to the next, because then she does a little ad there. Let me go to the next
second setting. Now, this second setting is something that happens right before you hit upload to your video. Because what you want to do is you don't want to select publish. I know all of you already, after you've been working on that video and you've spent hours on that video and you've perfected it, all you want to do is just post it. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to hit publish. What you want to do is set your video on private. And then you want to schedule your video to go live at a later date. And I would recommend at least 24 hours before you let that video go public. Why? Because the YouTube algorithm, even though your video is private, the YouTube algorithm is already analyzing your video, transcribing your video, figuring out what the video is about and who to serve it to. And when you do that, when you post it and it has 24 hours or more to actually figure out what this video is about and who to serve it to, when it then goes public, it is going to be served to the right people at a faster rate because YouTube already has the information on who to serve it to and where it's going to go. And therefore, it is going to start climbing up. Those views will start climbing up. My gosh, this is a little hack that completely changed everything for me because when you start off with low momentum because you've just published that video, you just post it, you publish it, and now the YouTube algorithm is starting to think about, okay, who do I serve this to? And your video is already live and it's just getting few views here. The momentum of that video starts off slow. But if it's been on there in private for 24 hours or more, YouTube has been analyzing the video, and at the get-go, the minute it goes public, YouTube already knows who to serve it to. So you're going to see those views climb up much faster. And I am so happy I discovered this one because I actually ran an experiment where I decided to just go ahead and post my video real fast because, sometimes, you miss an upload and then you just want to get it out there and you're a little bit impatient. So I posted a video and just made it go live. And sure enough, that video is still not doing as well as my other videos that I've waited 24 hours before they actually post. So this is something that works and I hope it helps you too. So that does it for all of my.
That's such a great tip. What's so interesting is that I've been in the habit of not immediately publishing my YouTube videos. I will always put it on unlisted first because number one, it just buys you time to make sure you got everything just right. And in case you change your mind with something, I just think it's a good way to give yourself a breather, right? And what I will typically do is I have this strategy I've been doing for a while now that's been working phenomenally well, where I'm taking content that I'm putting on TikTok, and not for this account, not for my Madalyn Sklar, but for a whole separate thing, a podcast I do that's a whole different industry. I've been utilizing TikTok a lot. So I'm doing a lot of short form TikTok videos, and they do really well. So I take that TikTok, because TikTok will give you the clean version of it on your phone, right? And then I take those and put them into my YouTube channel for that as well. And what I do is I will upload them, put them all on unlisted, and just have them there. And in that way, I can just now take my time and kind of schedule them out and stuff. And after watching her video talking about that, that makes perfect sense, because YouTube does immediately start analyzing once you upload. And that makes sense that if you upload and immediately publish, you may not get much traction for a while because it's still analyzing. So I just thought that was a brilliant piece of advice. Now, I don't know if Larry's still here in the comments, but I posted this last week on the school platform on our, let me put that link back up so if anybody hasn't joined. And Larry was going to do an experiment because we were both curious, does it make a difference if it's unlisted or private? I always do unlisted, because if it's unlisted, the link is active, but it's not public. Nobody sees it unless you give out the link. And what I like to do is have it unlisted. So then on my other YouTube account, I can always pull it up over there, because I'm primarily in a different YouTube account for that thing. And that's worked out really well for me, being able to go back and forth. But we were both curious, like, does it matter if you do this strategy she's talking about and wait 24 hours? Does it make a difference if you do it private versus unlisted? I think it doesn't matter either way, honestly. But he was going to do a test. I don't know. He must not still be here, but I was just curious if he had figured out if it mattered or not. But great advice. Are any of y'all actively utilizing YouTube? Yeah.
I just use it, as my archive, but I have a hunch I'm going to get more active. And speaking of Think Media and Sean Kennel, he actually teaches both of those things that she shared. And I think she's in his group on Facebook.
Probably so. I mean, and that's common. You learn something from one creator and you turn around and share it with your community.
Yeah,
that's
Sean
what I'm
is
doing here.
Absolutely the best. I followed him since he very first started. The thing is that every year at this time, he does a free challenge for someone who doesn't follow him. If you look him up, you can get into it. There's no cost in that, and it really is a motivator to get going. So, and when she did that, I need to look that up, because it's time to get take care of it, because time is running out for me.
Oh, don't say that.
It'll be a miracle. So, but I have just used it for archives. So your Opus saying that, I think that's where I heard about that too, the Opus clip. But I'd never, if you sign up, which I did with my Google account, you get like 90 credits, and you have a trial period.
Opus clip, like the actual Opus clip account. And by the way, I do have a link for Opus clip.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm doing the paid account because it's that good. I did start with the free trial. I don't remember if it was credits. I know when you pay for it, it's a credit system. You get like so many credits. I'm doing an annual plan. They give you so many credits for the whole year. I guess if I use them all up, then I can buy more. But on the free, I don't remember. I thought when I tried it that it was something like maybe so many free videos. I don't know.
Well, it says 90 credits today.
Okay.
I actually took screenshots, but you know what? While you were doing that, I thought, well, I'll go over there, because I've streamed live to my YouTube channel your episodes each week, and so I thought, okay, I'll just put that link in there, and I put it in there twice. And it says 0% to go, and it's only 90% done, and both times the URL link that it gave me to generate that on was the same one. So I don't know, but I can't get it to, I don't know if it's over an hour, if it's too long or what. I'm going to have to investigate that farther, because these are lives, but it was the archived one. So, but I can't get it to work on the clip. So, very good.
Yeah, we'll keep us posted on that. All right. Well, y'all are like popping in and out on here today. All right. Glad y'all are all here. Bez, be careful while you're driving.
Sorry, it just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it happens, that's when you're live stream. I prefer live streaming because honestly, when you record stuff, it's so easy to get in your head and like, wait, I didn't like that. I edit this, and then I got to do this. It's like, you know what? Press the button. We're live. What you see is what you get. We're in a time now where people don't care about that. Like used to be, there was a time where it was all about production, and it was fancy videos, fancy production, editing. And while there's still a lot of cool editing people do that really keeps your attention, I think stuff like this, we're providing great, valuable information, and that's what people care about most. So I'm all for this. So it's okay if something happens and like you leave us for a minute with your internet. All right, one more thing to share is Adam Mosseri, he's CEO of Instagram. He shared a really interesting piece of advice. I'm going to play this video for you, and I think this is really helpful information because he talks about if like, let's say your content on your Instagram is old, should you just start and you're doing something else? Should you just start with a fresh new account, or should you transition your current one? And he gives a really interesting take, and he's somebody to listen to because he's the guy that runs Instagram. So if he's like giving advice on something, I say, listen to what the guy has to say.
The most frequent questions I get is that if I'm going to change my account, should I create an entirely new account or should I work with my existing one? Now, the unsatisfying answer is it depends, but generally speaking, it's better to continue to use your existing one if you can. And there's things that you can do to make that a little bit more of a smooth transition. You can post a video about the fact that you're changing the direction of the account to give your followers a heads up. You can archive all of your old content from your profile so it's not confusing. You can actually use trial reels before you decide to pivot to see if there's an audience for the new type of content that you want to create. All of this allows you to maintain your follower base and actually allows us to understand a bit more of who's interested in you, which will help you grow over time. But if it's a really hard pivot, the content has nothing to do with what you're doing before, or if you don't actually want to be associated with, or you want to present yourself with a different identity, so you don't even want to be associated with your old name or your old pseudonym, then yes, a brand new account might make more sense. It's just a bit harder to start from scratch. So hopefully this helps. If you have a friend with this question, send it to them because I do get this one a lot. More to come soon.
Interesting, huh? What do y'all think about it? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense to me.
Right.
I mean, kind of like what we're always, at least for marketing, what we're always looking at is what's going to give you the most visibility on Google. So from that perspective, it makes sense, because why would you take something that's already being indexed and has established followers and then start again from zero? Now, I do understand I think it depends is the right answer, because for example, most authors have personal Facebook and also Instagram. They don't know to use an author page or a book page. So a lot of times I'll create a book page, which will be very different than their personal Facebook. But if they're willing to transition their personal account into a business account, then we carry all that with us. And so that's in line with, I think, the overall SEO perspective.
Yeah. Thank you, Rabbi, for popping in, and glad you like the information. We do this every week. I know we're on like multiple, like I know y'all, Rachel and Barb, y'all have added y'all's social media to this too. So some people might be watching from one of y'all's accounts. Bez, did you put anything in, Bez? Any of your social media for this live stream?
Yeah, I put it to my LinkedIn and Facebook, but I think when I switched over mobile, I don't know if I lost it or still the same.
It should still be the same, even though, yeah, it should still be good. So wherever y'all are watching from, I'm the one running this. I always do this each week. So our guests, come in. These are our regulars, but there are some weeks where they're not here. So it may not pop up in your social media. So if you don't want to ever miss this, my best suggestion is to go to my YouTube channel. I'll pull it up to show y'all. And it will always be there, plus all the replays. We do this every week, and it's always so much fun. I love that y'all come do this with me when y'all are available. I like to live stream and share each week, like all the things I've come across in my feeds with social media and AI stuff. So this is my YouTube channel. Just go to @Madalyn Sklar. You can see how to spell it there, Madalyn Sklar. And it's always a lot of fun here. And if you go click on live, you'll see, I mean, yeah, we've been doing this for quite a while now, this particular live stream. This used to be a Twitter chat I used to do a long time ago, but now we've transitioned and it's now a weekly live stream on my YouTube channel. But we're also on X. We're on my X, we're on my LinkedIn, and we're on y'all's social media as well. So definitely feel free to, come back week by week and hang out with us. We'd love to have you because it's always
and join the community.
Yes, join us. Thank you I'm so glad you always remind me about. I'm trying to think of all the things to mention and say and what screens to show y'all. Hey, Rose, good to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, be sure to join us over on the school platform. I'll bring that back up again to show those because I know not everybody was here at the beginning when I showed it. So a way for us to continue these awesome discussions, because this is just a 1 hour, let's hang out and visit type of thing. I have set up on the school platform. It's kind of like a Facebook group. I think is better than a Facebook group, honestly. And it's a way for us to continue our discussions throughout the week and just basically hang out, and answer questions, help each other. When I come across things, I'll post it in there, and y'all are able to do the same thing. Because again, it's very much like a Facebook group. So let me pull this up on the screen so y'all can see if anybody's not familiar. This is what I'm talking about. So school.com, SKOOL.com/Madalyn Sklar. That's what the screen looks like. And see somebody signed up. I go through and approve each one individually because I don't want this to be full of spammers I like to make sure this is like people that are truly interested in coming and hanging out with us. I approve everybody, but I'm just always still keeping a watchful eye to make sure. Sometimes people join the school platform because you can go to school.com and there's just tons and tons of communities. There's all kinds of cool communities you can join. I just want to make sure there's no riffraff coming in to disrupt and try to come in and sell y'all stuff. But I was mentioning earlier that I posted, so like when I came across the video we watched a little while ago about going viral, I actually had posted it on here earlier this week and shared those clips that we just watched, and even had ChatGPT give me a nice little summary to share with y'all what this video was about. So really great content. And Steve just recently joined our community. We were having a great chat talking about Notebook LM because we were talking about Notebook LM last week, and we were having a nice chat in here about that. And I as Barb was asking about, I do post the replay of this video each week in here. So this is from last week. So I always put the video replay link and then the links to everything. Like this is links to everything that we talked about that was on screen. I will always have that both here and on my YouTube channel. So you can always grab all that. So yeah, we're actually able to wrap up at the top of the hour for a change. We always go over because I always have so much stuff I want to share with y'all, which I love doing. I mean, no complaints here. It's always fun. I just, try to keep it at an hour because I got to go do another live discussion in just a little bit. Roxanne, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. That's probably you. That's that I need to go approve. Appreciate y'all. It's always a lot of fun. Thank y'all for being here. Any final parting thoughts? I felt like that was just some great strategies we learned today that are, even though some of those were specifically talking about YouTube, they can be applied to really other things as well. So
really good information.
Exactly.
Go ahead, or was it Bar? I wasn't sure.
Barb.
It was a great episode again today. I always learn something. You never can stop learning. And I just want to give a shout out to Roxanne because I've known her since the days back in Blab, and she's been joining us pretty regularly here. And
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she'll
I
be.
miss Blab. That was so much fun.
It was really the
It feels like,
best.
or feels like, but we feel this has the feel
This
of
is-
live because it was 4 on the screen, just like
Right. If it's four there, it definitely brings back those memories.
Yeah.
Thanks
Well,
so much
fun.
for adding her. She'll be-
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you putting this on your social media so that, you know, people in your community are learning about this. And back to what you're saying about you always learn something. I'm always coming across interesting things, and I started this particular live stream series because I want to just pass along all the cool things I uncover. And I don't want to keep it to myself. I want to, you know, I've been
Right.
spending decades, you know, sharing and passing along the information that I learn. And I'm good at educating and getting that information where it makes sense to people. I mean, I've been doing online courses a long time, all the different, I was doing online training back before, way before it was a
Right.
thing.
Right.
Because I love technology. When I'm like, oh, I could actually do this with this. Cool. I remember back in the early days where before any kind of live streaming or where you could do webinars on, like, it was through a phone, like a phone call type thing. It was like, what would they call that? It was like, so you would call a number. I would get a phone number.
Right.
Call it,
Party line.
not that from the 80s, very much like that from the 80s, but like very business like. And it was like this free website. I can't think of what it was from, like a long time ago.
Teleconference.com, I think.
It was,
I know
free
I've got it in my notes.
Conference.
I think it was freeconference.com, I think, right?
Free
Yeah,
conference. Yeah.
freeconference.com. And so it was the coolest thing because this is what's so funny. I mean, it just shows you how old we are. Back then, you still had to pay for long distance. The younger people do not
Right.
understand this, but back in the day, back in the 90s, we still had to pay for long distance. In the early 2000s, we still had to pay for long distance. And what I remember I love freeconference.com, but the way it worked was for free, it would give you a long distance phone number. So you share that to your community. They would have to call it, but they could possibly incur charges if they're still on a paid plan for long distance. And but you could pay extra and they would give you a toll-free number. I always remember this because I'm like, do I want to do the toll-free number? Maybe get more people, but then I got to pay for it. But I just love that I would come across interesting technology like that. It's like, okay, what can I do with this? How can I help people? And it's like, I'm just going to interview people. I'm going to get people to come on that are smarter than me and interview them and have them share their knowledge. And all you have to do is call a phone number and listen, like a party line. And it just so cool. And then when the technology started becoming more like you could actually show your screen, it's like, oh, I got to jump on that. So I'm a techie, nerdy, geek type person and like to learn and share what I learn. And so, yeah, y'all can always count on me to be doing stuff like this because for me, this is fun. I just always have so much fun hanging out and sharing all of this. But thank you, Barb, for always being here and always sharing your interesting insights on things that we discuss here. Is always super cool. Rachel, do you have any parting thoughts as we wrap up?
No, I just really 10-second share. I was trying to figure out how to do something chronologically for blog posts from most recent to least recent, most dated. And I was having such a hard time going between a client's blog and their Substack and trying to figure out which order. So I just dumped it all into ChatGPT and said, put these in the correct chronological order according to date. It took 10 seconds. To have to do that manually, I was like, oh my God, this is going to take me for freaking ever because it's like 25 posts. Perfect. So I just want to tell people, don't be afraid of it. It can help you in ways that you don't even realize.
Great parting thoughts. Love that. Bez, what are your thoughts?
My final words are that a lot of people didn't know that the collaboration between Run DMC and Aerosmith will actually help restart Aerosmith's career again.
I remember
They
that,
were
yeah.
sort of fading away, and that collaboration, not only was it culturally like innovative and actually spurred other collaborations, but as much as it was a cultural shift, it helped the career of Aerosmith make it relevant once again. So going back into the 80s archives, You know, I want to do one of those MTV sign-offs, but I won't. I'll just say, Bez says that's what it is.
That says, I knew you were going to do something 80s related. Ever since we had that live stream several weeks ago, and we had that. If y'all missed it, go to my replays on my YouTube. So several weeks back, we had this whole discussion about the 80s, and we have an idea for a new live stream that we want to start. It would be so much fun. Back to the 80s, baby, is what Bez said. We should call it. Love it. Well, thank you, Bez, for joining us on your lunch hour.
Glad to be here. Sorry I was a little mobile today, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
It's all good. It's all good. We appreciate your thoughts on everything we discuss here. Well, thank y'all so much. Have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. And we'll be back here next Thursday to do it all over again. And hopefully I'll see y'all in school too. Y'all come in school and hang out. School is cool. All right. See y'all later.